Do
Oh,
you see those other games?
yeah.
I'll eventually
It's
play.
time to go to the game info on Street Fighter 1.
Yep, I'm pressing X.
It's because you're the first player.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right, on. I got it.
Here you go, Street Fighter 1.
Okay. Release date 1987, August 97, hardware custom JAMA, playable characters 2. Street Fighter is a game of many a firsts. While it never reached the popularity of its sequels, Street Fighter was the pioneer. It was arguably the first fighting game to use special command-based techniques, such as quarter circle movements and button combos. That's bullshit. Sakupon beat it. Oh no, wait.
No, Sakupon did
Sakupon was 1988, I believe, right?
Yeah, 1988.
Oh, fuck, so.
So, no.
The game's 3 punch buttons and 3 kick buttons, all representing various strengths, also became something close to a standard. This is the game that started it all. In single-player mode, Ryu is the only playable character. Ryu must fight through 10 opponents, including Sagat as the final boss. Each round lasts only 30 seconds, and if the third round ends in a tie, the computer-controlled opponent will win by default. Multiplayer, both players lose. That's bullshit. In multiplayer, the second player is represented by Ken, Ryu's sparring partner and rival. There were only 2 playable characters in the game, and they play identically. Makes sense. The only special techniques available were the Hadouken, the Shoryuken, and the Tatsumaki Senpukyaku. Each of these is extremely powerful. The Shoryuken can remove the entire life bar if it hits properly, like you probably already fucking saw. These moves weren't taught by the game, though. Players were meant to figure them out for themselves. On top of regular battles, these are the 2 bonus games where players can compete for points. One has players break a group of boards held by different heights. The other is a brick-breaking game, in which players must press a button at the right time as Ryu's strength meters moves up and down, which also inspired the Mortal Kombat Test Your Strength.
Test your might.
Test your might. Trivia: 2 versions of the game were released. One used the traditional 6-button layout, with the button representing a different strength of a punch or kick. The deluxe version used 2 pressure-sensitive pads, one for punches, one for kicks, which players would hit with varying strength in order to communicate the intensity of their attacks. It was quite difficult to control properly. In non-Japanese versions of the game, Ryu and Ken's voices were dubbed to announce the names of their moves in English. Subsequent localizations left the characters' voices in the original Japanese. Bill Craven's name and likeness is painted on the shuttered pub in Birdie's stage in England. Bill Cravens was Capcom's vice president for sales and marketing in the US in the 80s. The staff put him in the game to honor his dedication to Capcom's success in the West. Cravens passed away on March 29th,
2007. Wow.
Tips and tricks. If you're good enough, you can defeat any opponent with a single Shoryuken. Each special technique is meant to take off 1/3 of an opponent's life. But if you get close enough, or if the opponent jumps in, your Shoryuken can hit 2 or 3 times. The same can happen with Tatsumaki Senpukyaku, but the technique is much more reliable with the Shoryuken. Maybe Ken was onto something all along.
Yeah, maybe he was.
Now
we'll do the other shit for Street Fighter Museum. We'll do the other shit for Street Fighter once we play those games.
I'm doing Street Fighter first. Here we go. Street Fighter cartridge game version, 1998. Street Fighter, the CD-ROM is released. The final fight prototype is Street Fighter 98 exhibited arcade show.
Street Fighter home computer version released. Final Fight, formerly known as Street Fighter 89, is released. Street Fighter 2010.
The Final Fight is released on home cartridge.
Which was the shitty-ass version where you played as Ken. And it was a platformer.
Of course, we have the music, which is Adon, Birdie, bonus stage of breaking boards, breaking bricks, Challenger appears, defuse the bomb.
Safety staff roll, Eagle, the strongest fighter in Street Fighter world.
Insert the credits, Geki, Gan, Joe,
Lee, Mike, high scores, rank
disciplines,
play,
Retsu, Sagat, what strength, Stage select versus, and that's
it.
Music. Making a Street Fighter. We can go into
This SV Pitch Dock.
which is Street Fighter 1.
There it is.
Here.
That's the original arcade
Work on the
machine.
very first Street Fighter game starts up at Capcom with the intention of making the most complex fighting game to date. These pitch documents were early shown on.
That was originally supposed to be the first arcade machine.
As you can see here. These were the kick buttons that they mentioned. And
those are the combinations right there.
Here is the first prototype of the game, which
Ken and Ryu, yeah.
almost looks similar to the game, does it?
But instead of 2 rounds, it's 3. It was originally going to be you have to win 3 rounds.
And you can see here the actions in Japanese. You can see how pushing the buttons represented up how much
you hit the button would have done a special move.
Yep. Here's concepts of mini games that would have made it
in the game.
Oh,
that's for the intro. Street Fighter 1.
Fucking intro of Street Fighter 1. And that's pretty much it for the docking history.
Is there any
That's it.
Artwork for Street Fighter 1?
They are characters, which is artwork right here.
Yeah, there we are.
Street Fighter 1.
Let's check out the artwork. Check out this cool artwork.
Yeah.
Let's check it out. Start with Ryu.
Adon. Adon. Full name
Date of
Adon,
birth
Muay Thai,
unknown.
likes Muay Thai. First appearance Street Fighter 1, Thailand, 7 pounds. Just like Sagat, Loud Mouse, Special Abilities, Wu Kai, Muay Thai dance, Blood Type B, measurements. That background. Adon is an ever-smiling, always cocky Muay Thai practitioner who favors quick and rapid-fire attacks. Adon seeks to get out from under the shadow of the former Master Sagat to become the true god of Muay Thai. Adon began to study under Sagat, the Emperor of Muay Thai, after seeing one of his glorious battles. Adon was Sagat's best student, but over time getting the edge with his master. Adon was believed his master was invincible, so it came to a huge shock when Sagat was defeated by an unknown Japanese fighter, who later he learned was Ryu. Adon, faith shaken, rejected Sagat and embarked on a quest to prove that Muay Thai, under his own practice, was the greatest art in the world. Adon learned that it was Ryu's use of the Satsui no Ado, the killing intent, that allowed him to defeat Sagat, and so decided to pursue it itself, hoping to integrate it in with his own Muay Thai to find the source of his power. Adon began searching for the world of Okuma, Satsui no Ado's ultimate practitioner, and the sense of interest in the dark arts. When Adon was offered a position in Shaolin by M. Bison, he refused. Fighting style. Adon's fighting style grew from Sagat's and built upon heavy special attacks mixed with light footwork and potential for repetitive strikes, which he uses to batter his foes into defeat. The persistent speed of his acrobatic movements is punctuated with a deep determination to succeed at any cost.
Now we move on.
Birdie. You see that here? Background. Birdie is a former wrestler known for his chains and body mods as much as his mismatched mohawk and beard combos. Birdie is the first made a splash as a professional wrestler, but was expelled from the sport due to his underhand tactics and general violent streak. The only work he could get was as a bar bouncer, where he would first heard about Shadaloo. Birdie took to the street fighting thereafter, hoping he'd strike their interest, which he eventually did. Although he got his wish to be recruited into Shadaloo, it was as a lowly thug, and his actual duties didn't differ that much from his days as a bouncer. He may not seem like the sharpest tool in the shed, but Birdie is well aware that M. Bison is simply using him. He's waiting for just the right opportunity to kill M. Bison and take the throne of Shadaloo for himself. Birdie sees Russian wrestler Zangief as his rival, not because of his wrestling background, but because Birdie perceives Zangief's mohawk as a personal challenge. Fighting style. Birdie is a true street brawler. His style is an unrefined combination of barroom brawling and crushing wrestling maneuvers. His main tactic is to hit his opponent hard and fast before they figure out his weaknesses. He relies almost exclusively on his physical strength. His overpowering fists and rock-solid headbutts are usually enough to ensure his victory.
Alrighty, now we move on to Gan in the next episode.
No, maybe next episode. All right, see you guys.